Book 1, Canto 4, The Legend of the Red Cross. This is a LibriVox recording. All LibriVox recordings are in the public domain. For more information or to volunteer, please visit LibriVox.org. The Faerie Queene by Edmund Spenser. Book 1, The Legend of the Red Cross. Canto 4. To a sinful house of pride, Duessa guides the faithful knight, where, brother's death to wreak, sans joy doth challenge him to fight. Young knight, whatever that dost arms profess, and through long labours huntest after fame, beware of fraud, beware of fickleness in choice and change of thy dear loved dame, lest thou of her believe too lightly blame, and rash misweening do thy heart remove. For unto knight there is no greater shame than lightness and inconstancy in love. That doth this Red Cross knight's ensample plainly prove, who, after that he had fair Una lorn through light misdeeming of her loyalty, and false Duessa in her stead had borne, called Fides, and so supposed to be, long with her travelled, till at last they see a goodly building bravely garnished, the house of mighty prince it seemed to be, and towards it a broad highway that led all bare through people's feet, which thither travelled. Great troops of people travelled thitherward, both day and night, of each degree and place, but few returned, having scaped hard with baleful beggary or foul disgrace, which ever after in most wretched case like loathsome Lazars by the hedges lay. Thither Duessa bade him bend his pace, for she is weary of the toilsome way, and also nigh consumed is the lingering day. A stately palace, built of squared brick, which cunningly was without mortar laid, whose walls were high, but nothing strong nor thick, and golden foil all over them displayed, that purest sky with brightness they dismayed. High lifted up were many lofty towers, and goodly galleries far overlaid, full of fair windows and delightful bowers, and on the top a dial told the timely hours. It was a goodly heap for to behold, and spake the praises of the workman's wit. But full great pity that so fair a mould did on so weak foundation ever sit. For on a sandy hill that still did flit and fall away, it mounted was full high, that every breath of heaven shaked it, and all the hinder parts that few could spy were ruinous and old, but painted cunningly. Arrived there, they passed in forthright, for still to all the gates stood open wide. Yet charge of them was to a porter hight, called Malvenu, who entrance none denied. Thence to the hall, which was on every side with rich array and costly arras dight. Infinite sorts of people did abide there, waiting long to win the wished sight of her that was the lady of that palace bright. By them they pass, all gazing on them round, and to the presence mount, whose glorious view their frail amazed senses did confound. In living prince's court none ever knew such endless richesse and so sumptuous show, ne Persia self, the nurse of pompous pride, like ever saw. And there A noble crew of lords and ladies stood on every side, which with their presence fair the place much beautified. High above all a cloth of state was spread, and a rich throne as bright as sunny day, on which there sat most brave, embellished with royal robes and gorgeous array, a maiden queen that shone as Titan's ray in glistering gold and peerless precious stone. Yet her bright blazing beauty did assay to dim the brightness of her glorious throne, as envying herself that too exceeding shone. Exceeding shone, like Phoebus' fairest child, that did presume his father's fiery wain, and flaming mouths of steeds unwonted wild through highest heaven with weaker hand to reign. Proud of such glory and advancement vain, while flashing beams do daze his feeble iron, he leaves the welkin way most beaten plain, and wrapped with whirling wheels inflames the skyen with fire not made to burn, but fairly for to shine. So proud she shined in her princely state, looking to heaven, for earth she did disdain, and sitting high, for lowly she did hate. Lo, underneath her scornful feet was lain a dreadful dragon with an hideous train, and in her hand she held a mirror bright, wherein her face she often viewed fain, and in her self-loved semblance took delight, for she was wondrous fair as any living wight. Of grisly Pluto she the daughter was, and sad Proserpina the queen of hell. Yet did she think her peerless wrath to pass that parentage, with pride so did she swell, and thundering love that high in heaven doth dwell, and wield the world she claimed for her sire, or if that any else did love excel. For to the highest she did still aspire, or if aught higher were than that, did it desire. And proud Lucifera men did her call, that made herself a queen, and crowned to be. Yet rightful kingdom she had none at all, ne heritage of native sovereignty, but did usurp with wrong and tyranny upon the sceptre which she now did hold. Ne ruled her realms with laws, but policy, and strong advisement of 6 wizards old, that with their counsels bad her kingdom did uphold. Soon as the elfin knight in presence came, and false Duessa, seeming lady fair, a gentle usher, Vanity by name, made roam, and passage for them did prepare. So goodly brought them to the lowest stair of her high throne, where they on humble knee, making obeisance, did the cause declare why they were come, her royal state to see, to prove the wide report of her great majesty. With lofty eyes, half loath to look so low, she thanked them in her disdainful wise, ne other grace vouchsafed them to show of princess worthy, scarce them bade arise. Her lords and ladies all this while devised themselves to setten forth to strangers' sight. Some flounce their curled hair in courtly guise, some prank their ruffs, and others trimly dight their gay attire, each other's greater pride despite. Goodly they all that night do entertain, right glad with him to have increased their crew, but to Duesse each one himself did pain all kindness and fair courtesy to show, for in that court whilom her well they knew. Yet the stout Faerie mongst the middest crowd thought all their glory vain, in nightly view, and that